Sometimes in life, we just have to reflect. And there comes a time in Maddie's life where she's just sitting amongst her house, reflecting on the horrible times that she had, to the point that she could barely even get money from the bank just so she can chug down a couple of beers after a rough day. Sometimes Maddie likes to walk around in her house, and when she does, she stumbles across the spade in the living room. You see, the spade in the living room gives Maddie a dark, dark time, back when she used to do some farming. She absolutely hated weeding all of the endless grass. It would take forever just to put down seeds and water the plants, and then walk through other gardens and find out that they have way bigger plots than she did. This would cause Maddie to slip a little bit and sneak a drink or two by any building that she felt free to. Maddie's closest friend was Mr. Longbeard over at the bar, and she didn't like that. So she would turn to chopping some wood after a couple of drinks, but she didn't know that instead of chopping wood, she would chop some legs. This definitely set Maddie back quite some, to the point that more drinks had to be downed, and she would cry next to the forester because nobody else would listen to her. Multiple drinks in and having her boyfriend break up with her simply because he didn't like that she wore rainbow boots in public was a huge breaking point for Maddie. At Maddie's lowest, she was not even working, so she decided to turn to other means to make herself some money. She decided to rob the bank. It didn't really work out in her favor because she exposed her map to where she was and she got busted. So then she decided to go another route, disguise herself with a different disguise, and take up thieving. This worked for a bit until she got caught, and when she got caught, she got hurt. So the tough guys finish last when they're trying to be tough. After Maddie got caught and hurt from stealing, she didn't want to feel this pain anymore. So she knew that there was only one thing that she could do, which is for now distract herself in order to pick herself back up again. So she started doing some fires on the side of the road, just so she can defer herself from her daily life issues, when she happened to stumble upon a forester hanging around by a fire. Eager to help, she decided to keep on lighting their flame, knowing that her flame was slowly burning out. And as she was doing this, she started to pick up the confidence to truly change her life around. Maddie decided that she was going to put herself to the test and start off by training her agility, gave herself a motivational clap, and then she was on her way. Maddie decided to take things slow. She was not in a rush because this time things was personal, and she felt the obstacles were a little bit tough. So that's when she knew that she had to strengthen herself. She started off by doing something that was her favorite daily task, fishing, because fishing can give you protein, like salmon or trout. Then she would spend countless hours by the fire, cooking up that fish, before nonetheless she was returning back to the pond to fish for some more fish. After that, she would cook a little bit more to make sure she had enough in her inventory, so that all she can do after that was eat, and eat more protein to give her more strength to continue on her way. Now Maddie was feeling so much better, to the point that she wanted to start baking again. So into the kitchen Maddie went in order to bake her pies. It was a miracle that she could feel this good to make apple pies from scratch. But the way how Maddie was feeling, she didn't just want a protein, she wanted her dessert. Now she had to go and make some money. She didn't want to lose her house, so she knew that she had to do a task that was a lot more tougher. You see, growing up, Maddie was in a family full of miners, but she lacked the confidence going back into this work, knowing that she would have some difficulties along the way. But she got through them, and she pushed on through, to the point that she could even help others along the way. Posty Pete dropped by in the mining pit where Maddie was at, asking for some help for Molly. And Maddie thought this would be the perfect opportunity. She could help somebody in need, in this case capture her evil sister, But in return, she'll actually get a reward for doing that task. Definitely a level up for her, especially since the rent was due from the bank. She got 4 sapphires, and that gained her the confidence to go ahead and mine in the mining pit for a long period of time. She knew she had to put in the work, hours and hours of endless mining, but Maddie was determined to do so. After she had a full inventory of all kinds of ores, she washed them up, took them, and she decided to invest. Now, what people didn't know is Maddie was very good at saving, so she already had some emeralds and some rubies that she used for crafting. Maddie took her chisel and made those gems look shiny and brand new. After that, it was off to the furnace for Maddie. She had to go craft her jewelry because her job was not done, but the results had her laughing. Maddie created some beautiful pieces of jewelry that she could now give to the bank, but she wanted to conquer one last task. Maddie has worked up the strength to conquer agility, and this time she wanted to conquer it faster than anybody else, and she was definitely not letting anybody cross that finish line before her. She celebrated by going back to parties again and having fun overall. And to think how Maddie was in such a low place in her life. Now, as Maddie goes through life and occasionally sits down and thinks about things, she's grateful for the things that she's accomplished, especially here being an iron. And for anybody asking about the boyfriend, that was a good thing for Maddie, because it turned out she was a little bit more gay than they actually all thought.